response for scooting around in the city. And it actually works. The steering gets all light and it delivers the power much more gently. But it's not all good news. There's a lack of rear visibility and it bounces over the bumps, which is a nightmare if you want to look smooth in the city.
Well, no one's ever going to call a Fiesta a city slicker, but compared to the Fiat, this Ford is a much more comfortable and mature prospect. Although it might not look like that at first glance, with its new edge, new nose, grafted very uncomfortably onto what now looks like a very tired old body. It's really a facelift of a previous facelift, designed to make it last a few more years until the brand new Fiesta comes along. The problem is, it looks about as attractive as yesterday's cheese sandwich in this exuberant company.
The Yaris was Driven's car of the series last time around, and it has been a super soar-away sales hit in the UK ever since. Not that we can take all the credit, you understand. It might be self-consciously cute to look at, but this little car really has moved the game substantially forward. Far enough to beat the new Fiat Punto and the facelifted Fiesta? Well, we'll see. We like it a lot, which should put a big fat smile on old 2 Jags Prescott's face. The question is, though, would you swap your luxury limo for one? Well, obviously I can't answer that. So, over to our tycoons.
To score well in our practicality category, a Super Mini must be comfy and spacious. So I'm going to spend all day being a chauffeur to 3 highly paid businessmen. People who are more used to Jags and Mercs. Can the Super Mini compare?
It's only 6:30 in the morning and I'm here to do my first job to pick up Justin Urquhart's shirt to take him to a meeting in Isleworth. And I'm going to take him in the Punto.
Justin is a high flyer in the city, so if big cars were banned from the metropolis, how would he feel about travelling in the Fiat?
So, Governor, plenty of space in the back for you?
Well, actually not bad at all. I'm rather impressed by this. I've got the rather short, stumpy legs anyway, but the key measurement is my briefcase, and I can easily get that in. But drawback to me, of course, is this is actually a tabloid car. I can't read a broadsheet newspaper. But that's fine. I'll read the tabloids for the time being.
Later I picked up businessman number 2, who comes from the world of TV and pop videos. Let's see what he thinks of Fiat's new baby.
So, this is Fiat's new Punto. What's your first impression?
It feels like a good economy seat on an airplane right now. It's not good on the old legroom, no.
No.
The legroom is fine. I seem to have space.
Yeah,
here.
you seem to have a little bit of space. If this car was a pop star, who would it be?
Like, it's small, it's compact, it's pretty snappy. It could be Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. How about the breast implants then? Is that true or not?
Well, I did.
You did what?
My next job was to pick up tycoon number 3, just after his lunch at a rather smart restaurant.
How are you? Have a good lunch?
Yep, and you?
Good, yeah, not bad. I had a spam sandwich.
A spam sandwich. Oh.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
In you, Bob.
Wonderful.
So, strap yourself in.
Bit garish.
Bit garish?
Garish.
Ah, I think it's quite nice, like grey long curtains.
It's like an old sofa, isn't it? Genuinely, it's got a big car feel, it seems to me.
That's the Fiat done with then, and it's done pretty well. But it's time to move on to the Toyota Yaris. And Justin Urquhart Stewart, the stockbroker, doesn't like the back seat.
It just feels a bit hard and at the wrong angle.
But at least you ain't going to lose the old syrup.
That's true. What syrup?
Syrup of fig, sir. Wig.
Oh, right, jolly good. Thank you.
But the man from one of Britain's biggest insurance companies liked the Yaris.
So you could see yourself living in one of these in the future? Possibly.
Not impossible.
Not impossible. Not impossible. Save you a few quid anyway here, wouldn't it? More money you can invest.
Absolutely.
Mr. MTV, though, was the Toyota's biggest fan.
It definitely feels the roomiest. You know, most space and still very small from the outside of the car.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Time is money, though, so it's time to move on to the little red Ford Fiesta.
Can see the old Thatcher's getting a bashing up here on this.
I think that's right. That would irritate me after a while.
And how about legroom?
Legroom's not too bad. I've got a useful little pouch here for my papers and that
money.
sort of thing.
So it's make your mind up time for our big cheeses.
If you had your way, which one of these 3 would you like to be chauffeured in?
I suppose it has to be the Fiat. I think that probably felt to me to be the best design inside.
So Fiat shares are rocketing then, and the Punto's Mark's favourite too.
To say you had to trade in your old BMW then?
I can see myself in one of these, I think.
You could?
Yes, it seems to me it's got a little bit more flair than the Ford. The Yaris, I think, probably for my taste, is a little bit too exotic.
But not for Mr. MTV.
It's going to have to be the Yaris. It's the nicest car by far. I've got the most room in the back. It's the cutest looking from the outside. I couldn't quite get into the Punto, so it's got to be this one.
Mike, you've had a long day, haven't you?
I have, Jason. I've been on the go since 5 o'clock. You know it is, having tycoons in the back of the car.
Oh, shame. But have you got a winner?
I have, yes. Mikel thought that the Yaris had the best interior space, where both Justin and Mark felt that the Punto was the little car with the best big car feel.
OK, well, I guess that makes the Punto the winner of our Tycoon test. Later on, we're off to the test track, where the Driven 100 will continue.
But first, this. Paul Ripley, Driven's very own high-performance driving instructor, is back. As the man who trains test drivers how to drive, he knows a thing or two about handling a car in a tricky situation. Over the next few programmes, our expert will deal with those extreme moments every motorist dreads. This week, blowouts.
Blowouts occur for many reasons, but the most common cause is an undetected slow puncture. A tyre normally runs at about 60 degrees centigrade, but as the pressure in the tyre drops, operating temperatures can rise as high as 125 degrees centigrade. The heat build-up causes a chemical breakdown in the rubber, and a catastrophic failure or blowout occurs. High-speed blowouts are rare, but they're also one of the most challenging and life-threatening moments a driver can face. We've enlisted the help of a team of special test engineers who are going to make one of these tyres blow out time and time again, so I can show you what you should do in order to keep control of your car and yourself. This wheel rim has a hole drilled into it. A tube is used to connect the hole to a remotely controlled valve, which is bolted onto the wheel nuts. When the green button is pressed, the valve opens and the tyre rapidly deflates. I'll be driving at 70 miles an hour along these cones, which represent the 3 lanes of a motorway. When the tyre blows out, what I have to do is to get from the outside lane to the hard shoulder safely and under control. But first, we need to show you what not to do in the event of a high-speed tyre blowout. Here we are, outside lane of a motorway, 70 miles an hour, without a care in the world. What could possibly go wrong? Front tyre blows out. Brake, 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 brake. Being a front tyre blowout, the car initially pulled to the left, the side of the puncture. When I hit the brakes, it pulled even harder, because with a flat tyre, the car brakes unevenly. And worst of all, to compensate for the car dragging to the left, I turned the wheel abruptly to the right. The stability of the car was drastically reduced, and it could have flipped over. We didn't flip this time, but we've hit the central reservation, and now we're stuck in the outside lane of the motorway, facing in the wrong direction. So let's try that again, and do it properly this time. Keep off the brake pedal and steer gently. Don't panic. Keep both hands firmly on the steering wheel, ease off the accelerator, put your left indicator on, and gradually, very progressively, look what's going on around and make your way over towards the hard shoulder. So when it comes to blowouts, remember, ease off the accelerator, and whatever you do, don't touch the brake pedal. Hold onto the steering wheel firmly with both hands. Switch the left indicator on and look to see what other traffic is around. Gradually and very gently make your way to the hard shoulder, and be aware that other drivers may not realise that you have a problem. At the end of the day, if you don't panic, be smooth with the car and follow the driving doctor's high-speed blowout tips, you'll only have a fright and not an extreme moment. Safe driving.
After the break, the Mitsubishi Evo Extreme plus the Driven 100 continues.
Apparently, for the first time ever, you can now buy a range of cars exclusively on the internet.
And Vauxhall say it's so easy even a child could do it.
Well, let's put them to the test, shall we? Jeremy, log on to the website, please. Now, which car?
A Vectra hatchback.
Oh. Colour?
Star silver.
Good. Financial details? Oh, I better deal with that. So, which key do you press to buy a car?
Return key.
The return key.
Mum! Dad just bought a car!
Vauxhall, raising the standard.
I'm always on the search. So far, I found more than I was looking for.
The new Nokia phone is small and slim with big features. It fits the way you live. Nokia, connecting people.
If we don't receive your completed tax return by the 31st of January, you face a £100 penalty. So do it right away and don't get clobbered.
At Sainsbury's, we check thousands of prices every week. So we can guarantee that we won't be beaten on price on your favourite everyday essentials. Fresh fruit and veg, and the top 100 brands. In fact, over 1,600 high-quality products are checked. It's called our low price guarantee. Sainsbury's, making life taste better.
Chili sauce?
What a difference a carling makes.
There's a voice keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
Only NatWest credit cards give you air miles every time you spend. So if you want to see the world for free, call us on 0800 400 005.
Now, this on a Vauxhall means it was bought on the internet. Easy. Almost too easy.
Welcome back. Later, the scoring gets underway in the Driven 100. But first...
4 doors, they said. Family saloon, they said. Plenty of space in the boot, they said. Well, sounds like the ideal car for a mother of 2. Hey, George? So I took them at their word, and now I find myself dropping the kids off in something that would be much more at home flying along the mud tracks of the Kielder Forest than here doing the daily school run. Rally Art, the sporting wing of Mitsubishi, are only going to make 50 of these muscle-bound monsters, so if you want one, you're going to have to get your skates on. At £42,000, it'll be competing with the BMW M Coupe and the Porsche Boxster, so it better be good. Thankfully, I'm on the inside of this car, so I cannot see the hideous paint job. There's something very Escort RS Turbo about it, which I really hate. The Extreme outguns the standard car in every category. The BHP is up to a staggering 350, whilst the weight is down by £165. So if you know your Evos, you won't be shocked when I tell you that this will do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. That's supercar territory. It's just fantastic. It's a really firm ride, which I like. I'm not sure my passengers would agree. But it keeps on accelerating. The pedals are firm. The gear change is just brilliant. And if your nerves are jangling at the thought of all that power, then relax. Take a deep breath and have a peek at what's hiding behind those shiny alloy wheels. The massive 17-inch vented discs take you down from 60 to 0 in 2.5 seconds. But there's one small problem. The Extreme brakes are non-ABS. So Mitsubishi, you give the Extreme 80 horsepower more and take away the ABS. I'm absolutely horrified because in the wet, it's going to lock up. It does feel quite a lot like a rally car in here. You get the genuine Article Recaro racing seats, and if you're that way inclined, there's some 4-point racing harnesses. And I have a feeling I'm going to need them where I'm going. I know the road driver in me had some reservations about those brakes, but now that I'm buckled in and flying around this circuit, the rally driver in me may have to disagree. You don't get ABS brakes on the rally car, and that's why Mitsubishi have taken them off. You need to be able to have that wonderful contact with the brake pedal, really predictable brakes, And as you turn in and power, you get this lovely four wheels drift all the way around the corner. And if you just keep powering it, it comes out the other side. It's just great stuff. You know, when I'm on the track, I don't care what this car looks like on the outside, because on the inside, I am having one great time. But what I want to know is just how similar this car is to the rally car that it's been based on. And I think I found a man that can tell me. I'm sitting next to Penny Mallory, who is driving this car brilliantly. He's ex-British champion, ex-Scandinavian champion, RAC winner, supersonically marvellous driver. Do you like it as much as I do, by any chance?
I think you can see in my smile what I do.
What a treat in a road car to be able to swing it about like that.
When it slides so progressively.
Because I really thought with this much power it was just going to eat you alive and spin you around violently, but actually it's all quite progressive and smooth and drivable.
It's partly because of suspension and mainly because of a four-wheel drive.
You could go rallying in this, be very competitive and fairly safe.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful handbrake turn, fantastic. Oh, Penny, this is just heaven. Oh, Penny, I was so scared then. I thought we were going to crash. Well, I have to say, I absolutely love this car. How could I not? Its performance and handling are outrageous. And at 42 grand for your own road-going, road-legal rally car, it's a snip. This is the ultimate enthusiast's car. Well, that's all very well, but I felt like I was driving around in a white stiletto. And as far as those brakes are concerned, if the Extreme is seriously aimed at road users, I think they need to make the brakes as user-friendly as the rest of the car. Taking off the ABS is a serious mistake, and if I had my choice, I'd buy a standard Evo VI and buy a small family car with the change. So I guess that means you don't want another go then? No, I'm not saying that.
Welcome to part 2 of the Driven 100, where we've arrived at the track. Now later on we'll be doing a ride quality test. We'll be finding out how many gadgets and gizmos you get with our Ford, Fiat and Toyota Super Minis. But first, the braking test.
It used to be true that small cars had poor brakes, which could be dangerous, especially if the car was fully laden. Nowadays though, even Super Minis can be ordered with anti-lock brakes. They are, however, a costly option. Is ABS worth it?
No, there are only 3%ers on Driven, so we've had to recruit a fourth fully grown adult, although that's a moot point. Chris, the sound man! This car has had ABS fitted. How much road does it take to stop from 55 miles per hour? Foot through the floor.
Oh, 34.5 metres.
That felt good.
Yeah,
felt good.
impressive.
Everyone happy with that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
Chris,
good.
sound man?
Yeah.
Yep. Next up, the Fiesta.
Now you're going to have to hit that brake pedal nice and hard. Again, ABS in the Fiesta.
I've worn my shoe leather to a frazzle.
35.6, which is only a metre.
Yeah,
more.
not much in it.
Not bad
much
at all. Right, it's the chubbier, chunkier, bouncier Fiat Punto. I'm really having to wind it up, but crucially, Penny,
This Punto does not have anti-lock brakes, so Jason's going to have to simulate ABS by pumping the brake pedal really hard, which is called cadence braking, and wait and see what difference it makes. Oh!
Oh my giddy aunt. 44 metres,
Well,
which is a whole 10 metres further down the road than that Yaris.
the fact that none of these three cars come with anti-lock brakes included in the basic price is a major concern. Until manufacturers cough up and make it a standard fitting, don't even think about ordering a car without them. ABS may well save your life.
Right then, gadgets and gizmos. What do you get for your money? Well, this is the Fiat Punto 1.2 HLX, and it comes with electric front windows with one-touch operation, electric mirrors, remote control central locking, air conditioning with a pollen filter, alloy wheels, driver's airbag, and electronic dual-drive power steering.
the Ford Fiesta 1.25 Z-Tech gear has got most of that, with the exception of the electric mirrors and that fancy dual-drive power steering, but it's also got an alarm, an immobiliser and heated mirrors.
But the Toyota Yaris is the winner here. In CDX, guys, it has all of that stuff, plus a passenger side airbag and a single disc CD player. And don't forget, it's also the cheapest of the 3 cars here.
So much for interior appointments. What you need for real comfort and a good score for drivability is supple suspension. Here at our test track, we've got an especially bumpy surface where we're going to do a ride quality test. Ride quality is a notoriously difficult thing to quantify, and each manufacturer does it in its own way, but we've opted for a very technical method. We've got a cup of water in the cup holder, and we're going to see how much water is displaced out of that cup as I hit a very bumpy surface at 10 miles an hour. Now I'm in the Yaris. I'm getting up to 10 miles an hour. Oh, God. Oh, it's so bumpy. Should have worn my sports bra. I'm going to have 2 black eyes, I think. Now, there's water flying out, but actually, once you get into a good rhythm, it's doing pretty well. And there you go. So we've lost about, what, half a centimetre of water, which is pretty good going, I reckon, for the little Yaris. Next up is the Punto. So I get up to 10 miles an hour and I'm just about to approach this bumpy bit. Oh my word! The water's splashing out absolutely everywhere. The ride is so hard and my back's really jarred, and you can see, I'm sure, I am being bone shaken in this Punto. It's not very impressive, I'm afraid to say. There's about 1 inch of water left in that cup, if that. Well, I'm afraid that's not a very impressive result from the Fiat Punto. So time for the Fiesta. And it's not too bad at all. I mean, it's bumpy, obviously, but it seems somehow more sedate, certainly, than the Fiat. That's 10 miles an hour. The water's staying in the cup fairly well. There's bits flying out, as you'd expect. There's just about as much water left in this Fiesta cup as there was in the Yaris, so it's a really close call. But I think I've got to give it to the Fiesta because somehow the ride seems more comfortable and slightly less frantic.
Right, it's decision time in the Driven 100, where we got 25 points up for grabs in each of our 4 categories, which are drivability, desirability, practicality and cost of ownership, with a maximum possible awarded points of 100.
First up then is drivability. The Yaris is a bit slow, to be honest.
It's a bit gutless.
But fine handling and an excellent ride netted a good score.
15, mate.
15. In we go with 15.
The Fiesta, though, is even better. Good over the bumps and round the bends. This is the best driver's car here and scores 17. The Fiat gets just 14 due to its choppy ride quality and a sluggish engine. Now, desirability. We liked the Yaris, as did Mikael Bakker.
It's the cutest looking from the outside.
A solid 17. Nobody could call the Fiesta desirable. After all, even the people who designed it have had 3 goes at making it look good, whereas the Fiat scores well.
Huge seller, this car. Huge seller.
We're going to give it a nice big score.
What are we looking at? 18, I think.
Yeah, 18 sounds fair.
Practicality is the Yaris's strong point. Loads of space and a clever sliding rear seat help it to a whopping 20. The Fiesta is starting to show its age now. It's cramped in the back, as one of our bigwigs found out.
Oh, done it again. God.
And scores a lowly 12. Well, the Punto is better, but once again, space is at a premium, and it gets 15. Now, cost of ownership for the Yaris. Yeah, you need to get 50 miles to the gallon.
Very economical.
Insurance group 2?
2. I think we're looking at a 2 to start its number with.
Ooh, a 20. Ooh. 2 and a 0, do I hear?
2 and a 0.
Fords are cheap to run, but in 2 years' time an all-new Fiesta will arrive, making this one depreciate faster than a home computer. Fiats tend to shed their value too, and this is not a cheap car to start with, so a poverty-stricken 14 is all it gets. So the results then. Good drivability is not enough to save the Ford Fiesta from a pretty average score of 54. In second, the Fiat Punto. Good all round, but just not special enough. It gets 61. And so, due to its all-round excellence, the Toyota Yaris comes first with a superb 72 out of 100.
Which means the Toyota Yaris is the best small car you can buy. And on that note,
bye-bye.
Goodbye. Next week, the Driven 100 comes from Spain, where we'll be checking out the latest and wackiest people carriers from Citroën, Fiat and Mazda. Plus, lucky old me gets to take the Bentley Ornage to the very corner that gave it its name.